I swear. That was so weird. I could hear the echo from my room and stuff. That's the first time I could hear it.
Alright.
As the stream started.
Welcome to the game. We're dropping in on the first map, Oasis. I'm T4 Ruben, and I'm joined here today with Smurf. Hello, Smurf.
Yeah, the one and only.
And today we're gonna look at Aspire versus Arctic Spectre. What can we expect from these teams, Smurf?
To be honest, I've seen both teams play, and I feel like we're just gonna see a bunch of 2-2-2. Mainly Orisa Hog I'd be expecting, but maybe some Ryan Zarya in between there. I don't know if Dive's their best because I've seen Aspire play a bit and they don't really play Dive that often. And from what I've seen from Arctic, they just like their 2-2-2. I feel like they're going to be mainly focusing around Nick because Nico Overwatch, when I'm talking about Arctic here, with his Widow, you see how he just picks the Widow instantly. He's quite a good Widow and he displayed some really good Widow play when I watched his game. We're seeing the 2-2-2 come out of Spire, which I called. They really like their 2-2-2 there. We're not really going to see much goats. Triple DPS maybe. I don't really know if we're going to see triple DPS off Aspire. I don't think that they have a third DPS player. I'm not sure here because I haven't seen much of gaming. But we're going to see the triple DPS coming out from Aspire. Not Aspire, sorry, Arctic. Too many A's. Jesus Christ. It's going to be interesting, just because the Fair Mercy is going to be kind of a problem for Aspire here. It's just going to be an issue to take out since they don't have much to take it out. Oh, instant pick onto the Hammond. They have too much damage. That Hammond's just going to get shredded instantly. Hanzo getting slept. They're mainly going for... Oh, pick onto the Hanzo. So it's an even fight, but still, Aspire still has the advantage here, still having their tank line. Arctic can't really push in without their main tank here. Oh, huge pick coming onto the Junkrat. Now it's a 4v6. They're diving in, going in for the picks. Lucio gets hacked. They're really going to focus the Lucio there. That would be the most logical thing. Gets the hook onto the Sombra. Sombra doesn't get picked though. No focus fire. Hog gets antied, getting killed. And yeah, this is just going to go Arctic. But Aspire getting the early point capture, so they're going to get some percentage going up there. They might just go for the stall as well, to be honest, which isn't really the worst option, as long as they don't stagger themselves too hard here and don't feed too hard as well. Oh, pick onto the Ana. Trying to stabilize, but not really able. Yeah, first fight going over to Arctic. Still, what I said, dude. Like Nick, he's quite good. If you really leave him unchecked, he's gonna get picks. There's nothing really you can do. The Fair is also quite a nuisance since they don't have the counter to the Fair. Hanzo's gonna have to focus the Fair, or if you want, you could try the Orisa full combo on the Fair, but that's quite difficult to do.
Yeah.
Also seems like Arctic has the ult advantage at the start. They have almost all their ults except for Ana, which is at 50%. Well, Aspire hasn't even gotten their first ult yet. They're going to get their first in a bit. Oh, huge pickle coming onto the Mercy. The Fair is going to have to be very, very careful here. He's going to go for the barrage though. Might be a huge barrage. That's a big bombs right there. That is huge bombs.
3k.
Yeah, that is very big.
Nice. Good job.
Go onto the Sombra for the Fair, which is actually quite a good pick, honestly. But they're not going to get much. Oh. They almost have the EMP actually. How long have they had that Sombra? I haven't noticed, dude. Very interesting.
Not long, but at the start of the fight, they had 30%, and now she worked it all the way up to 92. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very good for first fight on Sombra. And you can see that Arctic is quite good here because they just used one ult to win a fight. And although Aspire didn't use any ults whatsoever, they're still at an ult disadvantage here. Fair's gonna go for the barrage here from behind probably. Not really going for it yet, going for the Hanzo. Huge pick coming onto the Mercy. This Mercy seems to get picked off at the start of every fight. Sombra going for the Ana in the back, and Widow. Didn't have a translocator to get out, probably going to get picked here. But pick still going towards Spire here, so that's quite good. Flipping the point, Arctic down 75%. The quite good build up. They still have an ult. No, what seems to be an ult advantage anyway. They have 6 ults, but at the same time they could. Aspire only used 2 ults there to win that fight. The Hog has been gaining his ult quite slow, and I don't feel like he's getting much value off of that. And I feel like they're just not going for those halt hook combos.
I mean, he does find the hooks, but with a triple DPS combo, it's slightly harder. Oh,
EMP getting 3. Oh, it just seems like Arctic's just kind of throwing all their ults in, hoping for the best. Going in for the all ults going in. I feel like they're going to win this fight, but the same thing is 75%. That doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to get next point. What you're thinking here is Aspire is like, you have ult advantage. Arctic used all their ults and do not have a single ult. You have 3 ults. If you push in fast, you can also get that Hanzo ult, which is 4 ults. You just have to get there onto point, win the next fight, and you win. Because it's Arctic just used all their ults, threw them all away. I feel like Aspire is probably going to try get these picks off. If they get that Mercy again, it's just a win. It's a winnable fight.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't know where they are. Oh, gets the boops. They're just delaying them. Oh, Mega Man gets taken out instantly. EMP only getting 1. Getting the fair though. If they focus the fair here, they can pick her off.
It's a huge anti-nade, by the way.
They got the double 2 picks going in for Aspire here. 3 now. It's kind of a lost cause for Arctic here, but also at the same time, Aspire using quite a few ults, but they still have a bit of an ult economy, while Arctic is still struggling with their ult economy. They have 4 ults, Widow kind of not counting as one because it's just sights. Oh, nice staggers coming through for Aspire here. Getting the pick on the fair and the Widow. That's going to stall for a bit. Not having much time. Hammond is going to have to go for the touch here and just keep the stall. He's getting a lot of damage put on him though. You see, the Orisa Hog here, it's very good for holding down the points, and as long as you keep that point control, it's quite good. Pick coming into onto the Hammond, EMP going through, getting 2, sorry. Hacking the Orisa as well, big anti. Oh, but it just doesn't, Mega Man getting 2, getting 3. Just, yeah. 1 fight. You see, Arctic kind of just threw away 6 ults that 1 fight, and it kind of screwed them over. They really just wasted those. Hammond going in for the touch, but not really able to do much. Just lost fight. Aspire taking first map. I just feel like Aspire way better like communication with the ults there. I feel like they were struggling at the start there with that Pharah, but once they switched the Sombra and Widow, they really found their way. And I feel like just with the Hog Orisa, it just shut down the Mercy, shut down the Hammond, and you can't push in without a Hammond or Mercy on the Pharah.
Yeah. Yeah, fun little fact about Mega Man. He got picked up yesterday from free agents onto the team and already getting a 3K. So, yeah, good stuff from him.
I think that was a mistake because he's been on there for a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he just joined the Blackwatch Tower server then. Maybe.
Oh, that could be the thing. Cause I saw something pop up.
Yeah.
Right. That's my bad.
Both teams staying with both comps here. If you're Arctic here, you're thinking this Hammond is getting shut down a lot. Hack coming in through to the Hammond. He's just hard feeding the Sombra, already on 20%. You're not going to get value with this Hammond. You have to switch to Orisa Hog or to Goats here, honestly. Hammond going in, getting hacked again. Pick going through onto the Moira though. The Spire getting the Widow, Arctic gets the Moira. Oh, res coming in through to the Widow, but they still get the Hammond. No res coming, no res for Arctic anymore. The Widow duel's happening. Oh, Nick getting Widow, getting Mega Man, and it seems like Arctic's gonna win this fight. Once again, if you're just looking at the ults, you can see that there is a bit of a lead. Actually, it's quite even on the ults, honestly. I feel like Arctic has a bit of a lead there, but it's quite even. Yeah, not really capitalizing on the hacks onto the Hammond, not getting it fast enough. They also let the Mercy res right in front of their team. Just a few mistakes there. They could have won that fight quite easily if they just fixed those mistakes. Switching to the dive, interesting. The dive with a Widow. They're kind of leave Widow in the back. That's a bit of a problem, but at the same time, if you can get those picks onto the other players and just put the Boop coming in and getting Ali. Oh, but that's 2 picks coming in through. Lucio will be back faster. If they pick off that Hammond, then this is an absolutely 1 fight here. Hack coming through in the Hammond. That's a huge pick onto the Hammond now. They're gonna dive the Widow. Gonna try pick off the Widow. No res coming in. No res for Arctic. Getting the Widow as well. Pharah's back though. They might be focusing the Pharah here. Mercy's not with the Pharah. They should really be focusing big hack, big EMP, getting 2. Get the Pharah. Now it's gonna go for the Lucio. But pick still coming in through for Arctic. They're just gonna stall as long as they can. Hammond should really die on point here. He's just not really doing much. Just the same as last time. Hammond's just going too aggressive when he shouldn't be. They have the Sombra. He should understand that the Sombra, he's denying space, but he shouldn't be denying space where the Sombra is. He has to be careful with that. The hack is just going to shred him. It's interesting. They still have 48%, so even though they've lost the points, they still have quite a bit of percent. They need one more fight and they could probably get it up to 80 or maybe even 100 if they can hold down that fight. Winston going for the dive on the Widow, getting a bit of damage put on him, so he has to back up. Use bubble though, it only has jump right now. Jumping in by himself, huge pick onto the Sombra for Spire. Oh, but their Winston is getting picked off because of how aggressive he's being. Hack onto the Hammond, might get the pick onto the Hammond there. That's a big pick going through. They might not be able to win this fight. Widow taken down as well on both sides. They're letting Mercy res in the backline again. Going for the hack onto the Mercy. If they focus the Mercy here, they get an easy pick. Seems like they are, and they might get the pick. They got the pick there, but so is Lucio on the other side. Big EMP getting the Hammond. They just have to focus that Hammond. They also got the Lucio, but the bomb thrown and got 2. I honestly didn't think that was going to get anyone. Big bomb, and 60% already on the clock. Seems like Arctic has ult advantage though, so they could push in this next fight and use a bit of their ult. But once again, they don't. If they use all of them, they've lost the fight. And I feel like Spire could really use this to their advantage. They could just bait out the ults, and even if they lose the fight, they win. Hammond pushing in on the jump pad. Might have to be careful since the Sombra is there. Both Sombras crossing paths but not seeing each other. EMP coming through, gets 4, huge EMP. Barrage getting the Winston, and if I was a Spire here, I'd just be, they're using ults, don't use ults anymore. Just farm up ults, get it to 99%, and we're good. Next fight we come in, ults blazing, and we win the fight. Hammond getting picked off though. Just nothing you can do here. Nick getting all the picks he can with the Widow, getting a 3k. Big play from the Widow there, 50%. So now all that Aspire has to do here is flip the point once and they win. They just need to solidify that. But at the same time, you just look at it and it seems that Aspire still doesn't have the ult advantage. They're close to having it. Sight's coming through, getting the pick onto the Widow. That is going to stagger the fight even more. And not having that Mercy is crucial because they can't get the res onto the Widow either. Like, at least when Arctic players makes a mistake, that they could get the res and just fix that mistake and make the fight equalized. But Aspire just doesn't really have the chance to do that. Winston going in for the dive on the Widow. Widow trying to get away. Might get away, but might get picked off here. Gets the pick onto the Widow. That's a huge pick, but they're going to go for the res. They have to protect that body. Hammond using ult here. Not getting any value whatsoever. Widow trying to get the pick on the back line. Big EMP coming through, getting 4, but didn't get the Lucio, so that is pretty big right there. Still gets the Lucio. Oh, and it seems like it's going for Aspire. Both teams on 99%. This really is the last fight. Oh, and it seems like it's going Aspire's way. Hammond 1 health. Everyone on 1 health on Arctic team. Yeah, nothing they can hold on here. They can stagger it as long as they want, but it's really not it's not a winnable fight. Lucio last chance to touch points, and he can't even make it. And first map goes to Aspire. Just really dominant play, and I feel that Arctic should have really switched off their triple DPS as soon as they recognized that the Hammond was getting picked off every fight, and they really weren't getting any value with that Hammond. Good triple bomb though. That was very big. Quadruple, I think. Never mind. Yeah, that was very big. Good teamwork there. That was triple. It was triple. Spinning around the point. I also felt like there was a bit of a DPS dominance from Aspire here. Both Widows were kind of clashing. They were both quite equal Widows, I feel. But I just feel like Mega Man was getting more supplies put into him, and I feel like it was just kind of hard for Arctic's Widow Nick to keep up with Mega Man.
Yeah, I was about to say, Nico did quite well on the Widow v Widow, and when it came down to individual play, I think Nico got the slight edge over Mega Man, but yeah. Just
more resources put into Aspire's Widow, Mega Man. I just feel like Nico was kind of just by himself most of the time, and he wasn't really able to do much. Kind of getting isolated by the Winston a lot and getting picked off. So I feel like they just weren't sticking as a unit. I know that they were playing the triple DPS, and the Hammond's supposed to kind of be by himself, but at the same time, they were just kind of playing dive, and they're going to isolate one person, and you have to recognize that the person they're going to focus the most is the Widow, because the Widow is putting the most work. So they really should have stayed with that Widow. And every time that Widow got dived on the high ground, they just never supported the Widow, kind of leaving the Widow by herself. Oh, swapping out someone. All You Dead coming in for Suicidal, I think it was with the Z. Yeah.
Suicidal. Yeah.
Yeah. Suicidal, sorry. Oh, we're also switching out there. Oh, not the main tank, I don't think anyway. Yeah, very interesting. I don't think Arctics have made any changes to the roster, have they?
I think not.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I feel like the most interesting part of this is honestly the Widow v Widow here, because they were both getting picks. It was kind of an even Widow fight, and I feel like both of them were getting their plays. But I just feel like more resources would put into Mega Man. They were kind of isolating the other Widow more, so there wasn't really much of a chance for Nick to do as much work as Mega Man was. I feel like if they play around that Widow a lot more, then I feel like they would advance a lot more in the fights, honestly. Even if that's just keep the pocket mercy on that Widow. Because he was getting the picks, but he was getting isolated. If he wasn't getting isolated like that, if they put the resources, they could have gotten the wins to every fight, and they would have won the fights, honestly.
Yeah.
Who do you think the MVPs are so far?
Well, the most valuable players, I think the white one. That sounds kind of strange. And that
the Sombra.
But yeah, the Sombra, making a really good choice when it comes to target priority. As Sombra, you can be really aggressive on the attack, try to disrupt the play of Nico, but instead chooses to counter the Hammond, and you see that was really effective. Playing a bit more passive and waiting for the Hammond. Staying close to your support so you can hack the Hammond easily when he arrives. So, yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
So,
I would have to agree with you on that one, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean,
Arctic.
when it comes to the first point, that's pretty
easy pick.
Nominate.
I think that I would go for Nick on the other team. Honestly, he was putting in the work. I just feel like his team wasn't keeping up with his pace.
On the first half of the first point, I could agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like White One was farming his ults really fast, getting the picks.
Yeah.
And by picks, I mean like he constantly putting the hacks on the Hammond. If you get that Hammond pick, it's just an easy win every fight. The triple DPS can't really work without that Hammond, since the Hammond needs to make the space constantly. So I feel like, I would go for the White One as well. Now, this is a very interesting map, honestly, because a lot of comps could go here, and I know from personal experience that Aspire doesn't really like using a bunker here, but this is we have a leader. I think we're going to pause that then. Aspire doesn't really like using their bunker comps. They're not really accustomed to it, so this is going to be very interesting, because this is a bunker map. This is a quite powerful bunker map, and if you know how to use it, you can hold. But at the same time, it's also a triple DPS map. Fair Mercy is quite a good pick for first point. Second point is kind of bad for sightlines, because you can get picked off by Widow quite a lot. Oh, there we go. Join back. But yeah, I feel like it's just going to be very interesting. I'd like to see what comps come out here.
Yeah.
Like out of personal picks, I think that one of the picks that I would go for DPS, because I feel like both teams like their DPS comps, is Hanzo. I feel like Hanzo is very powerful on this map, and it's probably one of the best maps in the game, in my opinion, for Hanzo. Just very powerful sightlines, first point and second point, he just can put that value in, but it depends on if they can play around the Hanzo, or if any of them can actually play Hanzo in the first place. Yeah. Arctic really sticking to their triple DPS comps. Seems like that's what they practice, or either that or Funky Monk is a one-trick Hammond. So, so they're running the Hanzo. Really. Yeah, it really could. Kind of running on Aspire side, kind of it's a bunker comp technically, but not really the Bastion or Tord bunker comp you would usually see.
No, it's not the cheesy bunker comp.
Spam damage.
We expected.
We know and love.
But still quite a lot of damage though with the Widowmaker and the Junkrat.
Yeah.
Still very
I feel like
high
Mega Man,
damage.
if Mega Man respects Nick here and doesn't play aggressive, he will constantly put pressure on that Pharah and on Nick, and they won't be able to push in properly. Oh, Funky Monk trying to go for the flank and misses.
Takes a
dies
dive in
instantly.
the cold water.
That is very bad for for Arctic, and wasting a solid 30 seconds off the clock already.
Well, we'll just call that a fat finger.
Seems like he might go for it again, and he does it again. At this point, is he throwing? Wasting another 10 seconds off the clock, maybe even 20 at this point. If he does this one more time, then I feel like he might be just throwing. I'm going to check what he's doing.
Let's see.
Nah, he's going for the main route now. Or is he? Or maybe he's just lagging really hard. He's going in for the push. Gets trapped instantly. Gonna die again. No, not enough focus fire. Gets the pick off. Wasting another 20 seconds. Hanzo getting the pick onto the Junkrat. That's very bad, honestly. Pharah's pushing in by herself. He can get picked off easily here. They're not putting enough work onto this Pharah. They could get her here. Both picks going in for both sides, but I feel like Arctic is going to have an easier time just because of the spawn advantage. Pharah going for the flank, going to big health pack. This is very bad for Aspire right now. They're kind of all over the place. Only 3 people left. Junkrat's trying to put in the spam, trying to get the lucky pick. Arista going down for Aspire here. Junkrat's going for the flank. Almost has the tire. Widow's being undealt with from the high ground. Junk trying to go for that Hanzo. Might get the Hanzo pick. Oh, Ali wasting her ult, getting picked off instantly while trying to use it. Hammond gets trapped, but no one's going to be able to pick him off. This is a very, very weird fight. Widow getting taken out for Arctic here. It's just Widow for Aspire. Just no chance for Aspire. The spawn advantage really messes up their attack. They can't really get much value, but it seems like they're just trying to stall it at this point, waste as much time as possible. And I can kind of respect it, but at the same time I can't, because you're just giving them ult charge. And I can understand that there's the 3-second spawn, but it's just not going to work out too well for you if you just keep going in like that and giving them ult charge. Ult advantage kind of going for Arctic here, even though Aspire almost has the 5 ults. This next fight, I'd be kind of surprised to see if Arctic didn't just go in and throw all their ults at them. Because they should know at this point that they have the ult advantage over Aspire. And they should just push in, use that ult advantage, and if they wait too long, they're going to let them get that ult. They know that the Lucio doesn't have his defensive ult, and they only have the lamp to protect them from the Pharah ult. So they should really use it. And it seems like they're starting to use ults. There goes 2 ults already. Wasting the lamp. That's very good. Getting the pick onto the Junkrat. That is a big pick from Nick. Seems like it's just going to be a bit of a struggle. Hammond getting picked off, but it seems like Spire is just pulling it back. Getting 3 picks, so now... Oh, it's a completely even fight, but at the same time Aspire has the spawn advantage. Hammond just spinning around on point, and I think this is quite the plat strat right here. He's just going to keep doing that for a while, feeding them a bit. And gets trapped again! This Hammond is a trap, is actually just keeps going into these traps. He is feeding hard, he is wasted most of the time, and he's kind of dragging down Arctic at this point.
But again, the traps from the white one really
very
good
big
placement.
Yeah.
It seems like it's really effective so far.
Yeah.
A Funky Monk.
I'm going for the flank.
Are not
Both Widows
not
taken out.
enjoying them, so there must be something right.
That's for sure. Both Widows taken out, but at the same time, Aspire still has the spawn advantage. They're not gonna. Oh, picks coming in through. Oh, 2 picks coming for Arctic. 3, make that 3. While Aspire only gets the 1, but at the same time they have the spawn advantage. This is going to be extremely difficult for Arctic to keep. And even if they want, they could just go stall characters. Hog just stalling the point hard. 2 ults coming in through. Yeah, Hammond gets taken out instantly. First he goes for the res, almost gets the res off, but at the same time just wastes the res. And Aspire stabilizing, but losing the first tick in quite a bit.
Yeah, almost losing 2 ticks that fight.
Yeah,
that's,
2 hesitant on using ults. Nice pick coming in from Mega Man onto the other Widow. This is going to delay the fight for about 10ish more seconds. And now they're down to 2 minutes to push in. At this point, you want to kind of just farm ult a bit. That's it. Like, they do have the ult advantage, but I don't think that they know that. They haven't really been tracking ults from what it seems, because they keep giving them too much time to farm their ults. And Aspire is kind of using that as an advantage. They're just wasting so much time off the Arctic's clock. And it seems like Sombra's getting in position to use the EMP. He's going to go in a bit. Waiting for the Ferret to come around and everyone getting ready to flank. If he does a proper EMP here, he could get all 6 right now. Goes for the singular hack and doesn't go for the EMP instead. Trying to pick off the Widow. And just another staggered fight for Arctic. They're just wasting their own time. They're not pushing in. They're letting Aspire farm up their ults, and they're just losing their ult advantage by doing this. They still have ult advantage. If they pushed in this next fight as hard as possible, then they would win. And Mega Man just constantly winning these Widow duels. In defense in Volskaya, you're going to always have better sightlines than the other Widow. You have better positioning, and there's not much of a chance. Getting the pick onto the Mercy. This is extremely bad for Arctic. They're just getting picked off constantly, getting staggered, and now they're down to under a minute. They have to push this next fight, and if they push now, they can get one staggered push straight after, but that's the best they got, honestly. They've just been stalling too much, and now they're on equal ults when they had ult advantage not too long ago. Almost gets the Farah pick. Both sides coming in through. Nick gets the pick onto Mega Man. This is their chance. They have to push in now. Already using 3 ults, but White One wins the duel in between the Sombras. So this is now an even fight, and they have the spawn advantage. That is a very big pick, especially since Arctic's Sombra had her ult. White One trying to get the pick onto the Mercy.
EMP coming in.
That's a
It's a big EMP,
5
5-man EMP.
But Aspire still has the advantage. It's not enough. And at this point, you can just do a staggered fight and hope for the best. Nick getting as many picks as he can. At this point, there's only so much that a Widow can do. Sound barrier coming in through for Aspire. Aspire just constantly getting picks, getting staggers. There's no chance that Arctic has here. They stall it out as long as they can, but they've already reached their peak on what they get. And the EMP coming in just for good measures. Really not tracking the enemy's ults. If Arctic used their ult advantage a lot better, then they could have won the fights easier. I feel like very bad play from the Hammond, and it's not to be rude or anything, but he is kind of soft throwing because he jumped off the map twice. That wasted a solid twice or 3 times. Twice, I think. Yeah.
Twice.
That wasted like 2 minutes, not 2 minutes. Sorry, a minute and a half off the clock for what's it called, for Arctic, and he didn't get any ults during that time. And then he went back, and he went and got trapped. He was just kind of hard feeding, and he only started like doing anything at the second point, and it still wasn't enough. The triple DPS comp, in my opinion, is just not working as it should be. There's not enough synergy between the healers and the Hammond. It's just not working out, honestly. I feel at this point they should just switch it off, go to a 2-2-2, try countering the Ursa Hog with a Ursa Hog of their own. There we go, and we see the Ursa Hog coming out, but exact same comp as Aspire, but instead of the Baptiste, they use a Moira, and instead of the Junkrat, they use the Torb. So it seems like they're going for a bit more heals.
A bit more sustained.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And it seems like we're going to go with triple DPS with a D.Va for Aspire, which is kind of interesting because there's no... D.Va can't make too much space.
They'll stay on that for too long.
There we go. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Oh, switching between the Hammond players. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully, Hammond doesn't jump off the map twice. That would be very interesting. Oh, Sombra kind of revealing himself there. Hammond going in for the slam, not getting that much value, but got 26% of his ult. That's quite good. Sombra might get taken out here instantly, but is about to get the Widow pick, might get the Widow pick. That's the Widow pick, down for Aspire. Now they could really use the advantage here and just push. They might even get the point first fight. Oh, Ali going down for Aspire though. Mega Man's got pretty good sightlines and no Widow to contest him though, so that might be good for them. And Aspire has lost 3 players now, and this fight is lost. They're just gonna have to back out. Yeah, very interesting. Sombra's gonna stay in their back lines, gonna keep farming that ult up. We have 70%. Oh, that's unlucky. That guy had 70% on his ult. That is, yeah, he must be lagging hard. Yeah, they kind of lost their ult advantage here, Spire. They're gonna struggle a lot more now. That ult from the fair would have come in really handy, honestly. There we go. It was very bad for them. They're gonna struggle without that fair ult. Now they're only on 3 minutes left for this attack.
In the pass, is the Pharah the right pick against this comp? Will it be enough to break the defenses?
I feel like if they had a Hanzo or something else to spam with, it would be the right pick, but Fair by herself is going to struggle. Because the barrier is not going to go down fast enough. Even if it's damage boosted, he might get one rocket in.
Yeah,
but they'll just redeploy the barrier too fast. So he's going to either have to isolate someone, or he's going to have to work with the Hammond to just, lure the Widow or anyone else to spam the barrier. Because he's going to struggle on the Fair here. Oh, and the pause going on.
Also having a Torb and a Widow. Those are quite hard counters for Pharah. I mean, the turret, Torb's turret, of course.
Torb hit scan confirmed. Mega Man caught behind Arctic's lines here. He's gonna get picked off for sure. Now. Staggering himself really hard. At that point, he should have just jumped off the map or let them kill them, because he just staggered himself for another 3 seconds. Yeah, Torb turret doing work on that Pharah. And it seems like they're still quite far off that EMP. They still need to farm it a little bit. First ult of the game coming through from the Moira at 1 minute 30. That is very slow game, honestly. Slow paced game right now. Hammond getting picked off instantly. What is it with the Hammonds? What is it? I swear, there's
switch up in comp
today.
right now.
Double barrier. Interesting.
Double barrier coming out.
I feel like they're kind of going into desperation mode and they don't really know what to go right now. Trying to push through,
like
but they're
going
to struggle a bit.
Push through no matter what. Making sure they can be covered from 2 sides.
Mega Man getting taken out by Nico. It's still either way though, because not anymore. The main tank for Arctic getting taken out, but that's just not enough, and Arctic just fires back by taking out the rest of Aspire's team. But now they have to look at the bright side. They have the Sombra EMP. That is the biggest win condition in this game by far, I feel. If you use that properly, you will win the fight.
Yep.
The only thing is that they don't have that many ults. They just switched the Zarya and the Genji. The Genji, if he wants to combo with the EMP, has to charge his ult really fast. Oh, Zarya getting hooked here. Not that much damage put through though from the hook. Must have messed up the hook combo a bit. Genji focusing the Widow here, trying to get the damage off. Oh, EMP coming through.
Big
gets
EMP.
4. That is very big. Genji going for the hog here. Oh, Genji getting picked. Main tank for Arctic getting taken down though. Nick is getting the picks. He's putting in the work. Huge double coming in from the Rhine of Aspire. They have the fight advantage here. They should really win this fight. And Nick is just kind of trying to escape here. He should really just die on point at this point. He's not going to get any value. Oh, not going for the stall. Very interesting. Yeah, that EMP, it's just such a big win condition, and it's really hard to counter an EMP. You have to have like really fast reflexes, and there's like in console, that's a bit of a problem.
Exactly.
Switching off the Sombra to a Reaper. I don't know about this, because I feel like the Sombra EMP was a big win condition. If they kept it, they could have won. I feel like they should have just kept farming that Sombra EMP. No ults for Aspire, and they're quite far off. I feel like they're going to go for a Genji Blade Zarya grab for their win condition, which is quite interesting, especially since they have the Lucio ult. And I guess he can technically out-damage it, but it depends on how much work. Huge charge coming in through from the Rhine. Oh, Rhine getting taken out though. Torb turret getting the Lucio, while Sound Barrier got used. Oh no, never mind. Sound Barrier got used for Arctic. I got confused there. No ults being used for Aspire though, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And forced out an ult from Arctic.
Yeah, forcing out 2 ults the main defensive ult,
Yeah.
and the supercharger from Orisa, so still quite
Which are
a
two
good
quite
economy
game-changing
push.
ults.
Yeah, and they got their win condition set up right now. The Genji Blade and the Zarya grab coming in with nothing to counter it. So
Oh yeah, that's true. So now if they get it big enough, oh, Ali got it taken out. Start a fight. They're gonna have to back up here. They really shouldn't push forward. They should recognize that they've lost this fight. There we go, and they have. And at this point, Aspire has ult advantage, depending on whether you think that Hog's ult is that much of a big ult coming in. Which it can be, but at the same time, it's not really. They also have the Reaper ult coming up soon, so they have 5 ults here. This next fight is crucial. If they don't push in this next fight before they get the sound barrier, then they lose. They have to get hit. Oh! Ryan hooking the Ryan through Shatter. Genji using the blade with the... Oh my god, Nick getting a double. Getting the triple. Oh, what a body shot bandit. Look at this guy popping off. Lucio asserting his dominance over the other Lucio. And Nick getting with the quad kill. Very good play from Nick. This is what I said coming into this. He is a very good Widow. He just needs the resources to do what he does.
yeah, and you can see how strong he is as soon as he gets those.
Yeah, and bad for Aspire here. They used tons of ults. They used all their ults except for 2. And that is going to be really bad coming in. At the same time, Arctic also used all their ults. They don't have any ults. They're about to get Orisa bongos, but sound barrier is still quite far off. So they need to charge up these ults if they want to win this fight, since Aspire still has 2 of their ults. And Aspire has to use their ults properly. If the Reaper goes in and gets a big Death Blossom, like maybe 1 or 2, they win fight. Torb going in for the 1v1 with the Reaper and Hanzo. They get the Torb, that's a big pick. They have to push in on this Widow, honestly. They have to shut down this Widow at this point. They're gonna struggle too hard. Sound barrier coming through for Aspire. Big Death Blossom, might get 1, might get 2. And it seems like this is going for Aspire, but at the same time they could just switch to a stall comp. Torb going in to stall as a Torb, and Aspire wins the map. No chance for Arctic. Very good ult usage, very good flank from the DPS. And once again, I'm gonna say this one final time, Nick is the best player on Arctic, but he is not getting the resources to do what he does best. He is struggling.
Yeah,
you
can really see in the development of the comp of Aspire that they went from range onto brawl.
Yeah. True.
The more the match evolved, the more brawl characters they went, and that can kind of get chaotic for a Widow, and will drain the resources that were supposed to go into the Widow, into other players, just to keep them alive, you know? Because you got a Rhine, a Reaper, and a Hog all focusing on your tanks, and then they are gonna need all the healing they can get, and eventually it works out on the last push for Aspire to take the point and take the map, and take the match into a 2-0 lead.
The Arctic's gonna have to pull something out of the bag here. They're gonna have to do the reverse sweep, and that's the last chance they have. If they don't win in this next one, then they're out of the game anyway, because they can only win one after that one, and it doesn't do much. I just feel like also dominant ult usage from Aspire. I feel like Arctic was kind of throwing all their ults away, not counting what ults Aspire had, and not really pressing on their ult advantage. While Arctic was Aspire was noticing when they had the ult advantage, what ults Arctic had, and they really used that to their advantage. And I feel like there was just way more shot calling in that region, honestly. More switches coming through. Ali getting taken out for attack. Ali kind of struggled a bit that match, to say the least. Had a bit of a hard time. But some big sound barriers coming through anyway.
Looking back on the second map, any changes in the any standout performances, any MVP candidates for this match?
I feel like they've remained the same, to be honest. The white one was doing very big traps, constantly annoying that Funky Monkey. Like, I feel like the white one is just kind of, it was just going, you know what, Hammond, you're dead this entire match. You're just not going to be allowed to play. Going with Sombra, constantly abusing the Hammond, and now gone with the Junkrat and abusing the Hammond still. And I feel like he's just not able to do that. And even when he went Torb, the white one's like, you know what, just because you're not Hammond, I'm still gonna kill you, okay? And went Reaper and destroyed the Torb. Just no chance. I feel like Funky Monk is just not having a good time in this game.
Yeah, the white one wasn't having it, surely. I really liked the switch as well, because even though Junkrat was working pretty well for them, it's still really hard to get your ult and get a lot of value as Junkrat against the triple DPS. So swapping back onto the Sombra, which worked really well on the first map, worked really well this time again. So that was pretty nice play and good read from the white one. And Nico as well stepping up a bit more than last map, getting a bit. That was really good, and of course you know how much I love ult cancels, and there was one player I've seen ult canceling a lot.
Kick him out. Kick boost you out.
And that was Mr. TJP. I think he played when he was playing Lucio. He denied Ali from getting the sound barrier off, and when he was playing Rodog, he denied the Rhine from shattering the team. So good play from him as well, and I would like to add him to the list. That was a good round by him.
Yeah, and just a question that keeps going in my head, and it's at a point where it's like, why are you only playing the Hammond comps when you're pushing? And it's not working well. You should really, at this point, you should just think, it's not working. If we want to run a divey kind of comp, and it's not working with triple DPS, then we should just run hard dive. And I feel like they're struggling with that, and I don't know if Funky Monk is just not having a good day, or if it's just having trouble. Well, both teams coming out with the Orisa Hog. Interesting.
Yeah, we can see 2 bunker comps coming in, and it looks like Arctic is going for a pirate ship on the Dorado.
Seems so.
Yeah,
let's go.
Pretty excited to look at that. Let's see what Funky Monk can do back as Sombra after being hacked for 2 whole maps.
Just not being allowed to play.
Yeah. I think he's had enough, and he's gonna take a little bit of revenge, perhaps, on the white one.
Yeah.
We'll just
I'm kind
have
of
to
interested
see
to see here how they deal with the Bastion here, because they do have the Junkrat and the McCree, which are quite good Bastion counters, but then at the same time, they're running the pirate ship with the Ana, and
that was a huge fall.
Big hook coming in. But they get the bash and they have to deny the res. Oh, Mega Man going big, getting both DPS out. Attack kind of trying to stall points here. And they're going to have to disengage for the time being, waiting for both their DPS. And the white one coming back as fast as he can with Hog, but it's quite difficult when you're that fat. I feel like Mega Man's going to know that the Sombra is going to go on that flank, and he's going to watch out for it again. It's going to be interesting how they react to the Sombra again, because they picked the Sombra off quite fast there, and it's going to be a struggle.
Nico switching off from the Winston, or from the Bastion, onto the Widowmaker. Trying to outrange this comp.
Just seems like Funky Monk is not having a good day today. And Junkrat going big and getting 2 again. This is just superior DPS play this map, honestly. I feel like the high ground is working a lot better for Spire than it is for Arctic. Funky Monk is only at 44%, and if you look at it, both supports, including the Ana, have their ults before the Sombra, and so does the Orisa, which is quite weird if you think about it, because Sombra charges ult quite fast.
Aspire
So this Funky Monk is just not having a good day today.
I'll make quick work of that.
McCree standing on high ground while the rest of the team plays on low ground. Switching the Sombra to a Junkrat, that wasted 2 minutes of their time, and they're not going to get any ult value out of it. McCree still playing on high ground, even though of the risk of the Widow headshotting him. So that's quite interesting. Funky Monk going on to 1 health and not getting picked off, asking for the heals quite clearly. Gets the heals there. Nick half, and Mega Man peeking the Widow and getting a headshot. But both DPS trade right there, that's quite big. Also, oh, this is very interesting. JD putting in the work, and it's an even fight completely. Not anymore. JD is putting in the work. He is getting the picks. They're struggling a lot. And only 1 minute and 30 minutes. 1 minute and 30 left on the clock for Arctic here. They're really struggling here.
JD, definitely looking like the most dangerous Aussie of this match so far.
Nico Poggers.
And just again to divert your attention. Oh yeah, sorry, go.
At first I was a little bit worried because the Riptire didn't have much value, but then he steps up and gets some really big kills. Again, coming in for JD, really breaking this bunker comp.
A lot of ults coming in for both teams here, and I just wanted to show you again. It has been 1 minute and 20 seconds since Funky Monk has switched to the Junkrat, and he is only at 84%. He is not getting any value with these DPS players, and I feel like he's dragging down his team just a bit. He's struggling quite a lot. JD using the Riptire, not getting much. Really not getting anything.
But getting enough to kill Orisa Dadia, just getting the final blow.
Yeah. Zoning ults, mainly. But at the same time, Funky Monk about to get his Riptire might be the biggest Riptire ever. Like, this could be extremely big depending on how he uses it. Goes straight into their team though, he's gonna get picked off. He uses Riptire behind them. And they barely got it past the bridge. They are struggling hard. Arctic is just not finding their way. I feel like their best comp is triple DPS, and it's just not working out for them against the Aspire's 2-2-2, and I feel like Aspire is just showing dominant play on the 2-2-2. The DPS are struggling for Arctic here on this map, and just extremely dominant play from JD, who's been playing tank, hasn't he? So this is quite strange.
Well, I mean, it's rather a compliment than strange, really. You can see the hero pool being even deeper than just tanks.
Yeah. Flex player, I guess, yeah. I'm just kind of wondering here. I feel like Arctic's going to try using a very cancerous comp here, like a Bastion, to try win this, but I feel like it's not going to work. Like, already showing that it's just not worked before. Yep, they're running the hard bunker, but instead of having Nick, their Widow player, on Bastion, they have Funky Monk, which kind of makes sense since they want Nick to be their win condition in general. He's just really been putting in the work, and he can't do much. He's struggling quite a bit.
Yo,
once again,
do you guys want to play some
gosh
comp?
darn it.
You guys want to play some comp?
Busio, get out. Kick him out, please.
Oh wait, are you using a... Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah, very, very dumb.
On a bunker Poggers.
He did that on purpose, I swear.
Alright. After that little intermezzo, we're gonna
Dive
start
coming
off...
in from Aspire. If they can get that Discord onto the Bastion, I feel like they can shred him quite fast, but they're going to struggle here. They're not going to get the Discord on Bastion, depending on how they put the barrier. So this is going to be interesting. Sombra taking a different route to what the other Sombra took. Going for the Ana. Hacks the Ana. Can't get the sleep off. Gets hooked, though. That's a big pick coming in. 2 picks coming in for 3. Oh, my lord. The Bastion is popping off. But they're just getting that movement there. They don't have to get very far. They just have to get like a few ults, and they can probably win this. And they're just kind of staggering themselves at this point. Attack trying to charge up that trance as fast as possible. Both tanks quite far up. If they isolate those tanks right now, they could get them. Bastion in a very weird position. This Hog is getting quite good hooks, to be honest, and he's getting a lot of value on this Hog. Moving back onto the high ground. And Spire Sombra is struggling a bit, not getting much ult charge. Their biggest ult right now, I feel, in this game is going to be the Trance. It's going to decide who wins, honestly. I feel like the Trance is a very big ult, but at the same time, Arctic has Diana, so they're going to struggle just a bit there. Tank coming out. This is going to be very interesting, especially on depending on how he uses it. Nano going onto the tank, getting a double, might get more. That's a triple. That is a very big ult right there. But Aspire not using a single ult, while Arctic uses two. Aspire down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds right now. So they're gonna have to start charging up some ults, and they're gonna have to start pushing this forward because they need to make this happen. They can't let the reverse sweep happen, to be honest. Sombra close to the EMP. They have the Trance finally, so that's going to be very big. And they have both support ults. They almost have the EMP. They have 5 ults pretty much. Using the Trance quite spontaneously. It seems like Aspire wasn't really ready for it, and they didn't get any value whatsoever. Shatter getting no one. Blade coming through, going for the Bastion. Gets the Bastion, very big. Might get the Widow as well. Orisa going down. Now it's a 6v4. Genji going for the Widow. Gets the Widow. They might be able to turn this back, no, and it just seems like they've lost. That's 3-0. Now, Arctic has to pick up a map. They can't let this be a 4-0, because if not, they're going to lose quite a few points here, and that's very bad for them. Just, once again, it's just dominant 2-2-2 play. They're struggling so much on this 2-2-2. Arctic is just not finding their way. This is quite a big combo here. I like this little jump he did here.
4-0.
Very cool little jump he did there.
Yeah, JD, put him on the list as well for
yeah, dude.
For
just
outstanding
coming
players.
Out with some very good plays.
It's the perfect spot for Junkrat to be, you know. You got the enemy squad on a bit of a low ground, a very tight choke, yeah, that's where you want the enemy to be as Junkrat, so you can blast in every single bit of damage you have.
This last map is Eichenwald, and this is a very good 2-2-2 map, so I'd be very surprised if the Spire doesn't win this one either. But at the same time, it's a good fair map. So Arctic clearly liking that fair mercy a lot, and they continuously running it, hoping that it gets some value. This map is the perfect map for fair mercy, and they could really use that fair mercy here. So this is going to be a very interesting one at the same time.
Reverse sweep 4-3.
Just to come back on the last game, I was really hoping for a switch off.
Are you still in the game?
Lucio, what are you doing?
Are you still in the game?
Leave! Oh my god. He's so stupid, I swear. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think we're gonna have to hand out one more award today. Troll of the game, going to Boostio.
Yeah.
I didn't know there were streakers in esports, but apparently they are. Didn't know that.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, Boostio, stop!
Oh, yeah!
Right.
Oh my lord, he is so stupid, I swear. Go offline mode. Just both of us go offline mode, honestly, because he's gonna just keep doing if not.
I've got a better idea.
Oh, what are you gonna do? Oh, unfriend him. Just unfriend him. I feel like the DPS are doing a lot better on Aspire. Once again, the ults are also being used a lot better on Aspire than they are on Arctic. Arctic isn't really tracking ults as well as Aspire is, and the communication is kind of. It just seems like Arctic doesn't have their communication in line.
Yeah.
I'm very interested. I want to talk to the captains about some things. because I have a few questions I want to ask. Like, what are the, I just feel they aren't running enough tank like the 222. They know that the triple DPS hasn't worked, and they've used it on 2 maps, and they lost 2 maps because of it. Then when they ran the 222, they kind of screwed up with it. So they're kind of running out of options. It just doesn't seem like... Oh my god, he's messaging me now. He's so annoying. Yeah, I just feel like they haven't practiced their 222 enough. And coming into this map, you're gonna have to kind of expect it, because teams have been really practicing their 222, knowing that the lock was going to come in. So they should have been prepared for this. But they also have to remember that they're not only bound to the 222, they can try the goats. It's still a thing that they can like possibly do if they want, depending on if they practiced it or not.
Yeah, this will be the perfect time to use the goats one more time before Rollock comes into play.
He's messaging me so much now. It's so annoying. I'm gonna unfriend him at this point. God damn it. Boostio, stop! I know you're watching the stream. Stop, Boostio. Okay, dude, I'm blocking him. Honestly, I'm blocking him. Okay, going into this. Oh, I couldn't tell. Was it a Spire that was blue?
It is.
Okay, so they're defending. Yeah, so they're defending. I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna. I'm expecting that they're gonna use the Fair Mercy here. I'd be very surprised if Arctic doesn't use the Fair Mercy. They could also try the goats, but I don't feel like they know the goats. Depending, they just haven't used it. I'd be surprised if they use goats.
Yeah, maybe just for the first point or the last point, I cannot see goats working very well in the second. A lot of high ground differences that make a really
yeah,
disadvantageous.
depending on if you use dive goats or not, because dive goats can technically work, but it's if you practice it or not. Aspire coming in with the Fair Mercy, very interesting, and the Symmetra coming through for Arctic. Very low heals. A Brig and a Lucio, very low heals. Might not be enough to sustain a Rhine, to be honest.
Oh, depends how they want to play it. You can tell by the look of their comp they want to play on point, wasting no time really.
He's asking me why he's banned.
We see a Moira now coming in, so that's a bit more healing. But yeah, they're gonna be looking to fight on point as fast as possible, and make sure they're
gonna
get that
struggle
point
with this
locked
Fair.
down.
They don't have anything to counter the Fair, so they're gonna struggle real hard with the Fair. Pushing to the right side, gonna teleport behind them maybe. Oh, and already a pick coming in for Aspire, so this is just showing how dominant the Fair is gonna be in this fight, and they're just not gonna be able to play around it. Setting up on point with the turrets, hoping for the best, and Aspire just getting the picks with the DPS. JD once again showing that he's really dominant, but also we have to give the credibility to the Pharah, just putting in the work, getting a triple.
Yep.
Switching the Reaper to a McCree to try get value, and try get that Pharah. But Pharah already has the, what's called, the Barrage, so that's going to be very interesting to see. If they know that the Barrage is coming out, then they can really counterplay it quite easily with the Flashbang or with Bubbles. But if they don't, then it's going to catch them by surprise, and they might be able to get a lot. But McCree's not going for the Pharah. If you look at it, he's actually just not looking for the Pharah. Seems like he's just kind of scared of the Pharah. And they're going through that room again, which is not a good idea, especially since the Pharah has Barrage. It's just a very good environment to the Pharah. Teleporting behind again, trying to go for the point. And once again, getting their Spire, getting the early pick onto Arctic. Getting 2 now. Turret's going for the Pharah, might get the Pharah. No, not a chance. Blade coming through, very bad actually. They just used 2 ults when they didn't have to. Actually 3 technically. So coming to this next fight, Arctic has the ult advantage. that wall that's going to come in from Arctic is going to be very crucial and is going to work very good for them here because they can separate, depending on how they want to use it, they can separate the team of Spire, or they can just protect themselves on point. Probably protect themselves on point from what we've seen,
Yeah.
but it's going to be interesting. And very interesting that the, what's it called? McCree, he isn't going for the fair at all. He's not trying to kill this fair. He's not putting any pressure on the fair. So the fair just has so much space to play, and he's getting the picks constantly, and it's just really showing how much damage it's doing that the McCree's not going for the fair. Getting the pick onto the Lucio, this is what I'm talking about. Just spamming into the back and getting the picks. He's getting value by doing nothing. And Barrier coming in while the fight's already lost, using the barrage, which isn't really very needed. They already won the fight. McCree's going for the fair, gets the flashbang but misses the shots, and they just wasted 3 minutes by running this comp. That they're clearly struggling with the fair, and they should just go hard counter for the fair. And I'm really confused on why they're not running fair themselves, because every map they just seem to really like running that fair.
Yeah, a
Pushing
pharmacy
in.
of their own could be really,
Yeah.
really handy.
They still have
against
ult advantage. Pushing through the left side, getting the pick onto the Lucio. This is just constant picks onto the supports, mainly that Lucio, and they're just struggling to push through. Shatter coming through, only getting the Hog. Grav coming through and getting no one in the Grav, but they still get the Moira pick. Gets the Orisa as well. This Rhine is really carrying his team right now. Blade coming through, might get a few. Well, that is a big noon right there. Getting 3. Genji still doing work. Forces the sound barrier. So this Genji just forced one of the biggest defensive ults in the game. That is very big for Spire here. Even though they lost first point, they forced so many ults out. Hog using his ult, which is kind of a waste because he wasn't going to get value with it. So I'm guessing that he's either going to switch or he just did a big mistake.
Nico Poggers.
Still running the fair because they know that the McCree's not putting enough pressure on him. The only time that they've killed this fair so far in this round is when they use the Deadeye, which is quite bad if you think about it. They've only been able to take out that fair with the very powerful ult. Sorry, pushing up with Bubble to try to get that charge. Fair still putting pressure on the team. If the Fair gets the pick on the Lucio again, then it's just a 1-5. Huge hook coming onto the Ryan. Fair gets the pick onto the Moira. He's just getting constant picks onto them. Ryan gets a big shatter though. That's going to be very big. 2 going down for Aspire, but Aspire calling back by getting the McCree. This is a very close fight, and Aspire using the Moira ult. Trying to get that Ryan, but they're not going to be able to get him. He has heals on him right now. Trying to displace that Ryan constantly. I just noticed now that they're running a kind of goats. Have you noticed that? Arctic is using a triple healer. Big barrage coming through, getting the fully charged Zarya. Oh, we need a pause. Yeah, there we go. Nico left. That's very bad. I think he had his ult.
I think he was on his way getting his ult. Yeah, you can really see it's goats. With
Just with the
D.Va
McCree.
swapped out for McCree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a deal with the Pharah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But yeah.
I'm in
they
the
got a lot
perfect
of
frame.
even though they weren't really winning the fight, they still got the card up pretty far.
Yeah.
Considering they got picked off first. So yeah, you win some, you lose some, definitely.
As long as you're getting value out of the fight and you're just not a completely lost fight when you get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
I'm in the perfect frame. This is my favorite frame ever. It's just the brig falling off the map. This is majestic right here. Might have completely lagged out. That is very unlucky. We're gonna have to wait a bit for this now. 1 minute 30 coming in the clock for Arctic. And they just lost a very crucial ult here. Oh my lord. Kick him out, please. Boostio, stop. I swear to God. Boostio, leave. What? Hello? Is anyone alive?
Black Watch, I am in a party.
Ruben?
I mean, I'd like to kick him. Wish I could.
Yeah, it's It's the moderator that has to kick him.
He says he
So why
won't.
can't he hear you guys?
He won't talk.
I
He's at
mean,
a
you
party.
can just mute him. That works too.
Oh, dude, it's because he's trying to listen to us. Did you ban him off the stream or something?
No,
Why is he here then? What the hell?
he just wants to watch.
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, just mute him just in case, because he's gonna scream randomly, I swear. That's my guess.
Tell Smurf I am in a party with Drew.
He's in a party with Drew.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hello. TY3. Drew. No problem. Drew. Sigma toes.
Right, bit of a long pause going on. Yeah, what have we seen of this map so far?
Very weird comp, honestly. They're really just trying to shut down that fair a lot more.
Yo, look at these
They're
sick
struggling to
plays.
do it though, and they really just want that high noon to take her out. It's just kind of gone
Bend
now,
over.
which is going to be unfortunate for them.
Yeah. Yeah, in the first half
love
until
you,
they
Smurf.
swapped up to the McCree, they were really looking to try to ignore the
Mike Hunt.
Farah and make sure they get on point as fast as possible. But the white one, once again, having none of it and getting those picks, getting those kills, and making sure the fight ends before it even starts. And they really struggled with that. It was
Balls.
until the huge 3K Deadeye that they actually won the team fight. Because if
Yeah, it's their win
Nico
condition.
was not didn't hit the 3K, they might have lost on a full hold. That would have been quite painful.
Yeah, it was just a very big high noon, honestly. It's their win condition, in my opinion.
Is anything interesting
Yeah, if
going
they
to
decide
happen?
to keep running that, yeah.
No, and it's back. Lucio, I swear to God. Okay, well you're distracting me, so I'm muting you as well. They're switching to a
Alright.
Mei, which is quite interesting.
And
Mei's
a
gonna be
Winston coming out.
very weird to play.
No, switching
Not
back
switching
to
to
Ryan.
Orion. So is Nick
Um,
just not coming back? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah.
Oh, they're just switching to a full goats.
I mean, with a Sombra instead of a Brig, probably looking for even like more pressure onto the Farah,
Yeah.
but also
They're just. I think they're just running
having a
somber
little
goats, to
bit
be
more
honest.
mobility.
Can I become a caster?
Blade coming in. Oh,
Gets
gets picked up
countered.
instantly, but the Ferris, yeah, the Ferris still is getting picked. So, Somber
Yeah.
going for the flying, gets the translocator off. No one noticed.
LLLLLL.
That could have been a big move there. Moira no rate. They really have to focus this Moira here now. Oh, big
Big
grab
grab
coming
coming in,
through. Hog
They
golf
can
coming
get
through
picks
to
out of
try to
that.
get them away though.
which they can. Great sustain.
A lot of ults coming through. Honestly, a huge amount of ults. And it just seems like Aspire's going to lose this fight because they've lost their main tank. Oh, they get the res onto the main tank, but it's in the middle of the fight, so they're just gonna the rest is gonna die instantly. That was more of a feed than anything. On overtime. So if they get a big barrage here, then they can win this. They just have to get the big barrage. Yeah, more going for the reset.
Coming up on one of the most exciting parts of the map, it's the bridge, famously known for the environmental kills. And there are plenty of heroes who can get the environmental kills here, so we're just gonna have to see if one
That is
succeeds.
a big ult. It's getting 2.
Yeah, big bomb coming in from the TJP.
Barrage coming through. That might be big. Only gets 1 though. Yeah, and it just seems like Arctic's gonna capture this.
Yeah.
Not much that they can do. He got 1 early pick because they didn't really have much time to react for that, but D.Va was ready and he just did it all.
Yeah, TJP stepping up this fight, and I'd like to add that was the fill-in player.
EMP got fat fingered. That is so sad. And now
No one likes to see
Aspire's
that.
gonna win this fight with ease. But 3 ults coming through from Aspire, which is quite bad. That is so sad, the fat finger. I think he translocated and tried to EMP, but he EMP'd too fast before he translocated.
Maybe. Yeah.
So I think he tried translocating and EMPing at the same time, which is, oh my lord.
Yeah, but big ults coming up
Unlucky.
for
And Aspire's not on any ult so far. They only have Hammond, which is on 80. So Arctic coming in with a big ult advantage, and they could really win this fight. They could just stomp through them for the rest of the snap here.
yeah.
Moira ult coming out first, then the Rhine
Big
Shatter.
slam.
Very big. Then grab. They're kind of using too many. They should wait for the staggers as well. But they might let some of them run away. Somber gets picked off. That's very bad for Arctic here. More ult and Mercy ult being used to stall out as long as they can. D.Va Bomb is kind of just more of a zoning ult, trying to get them away. And bombs coming through on point. Just all ults being used. Trying to get the Hammond, trying to get them all off the point. Just trying to stay alive also and stall as long as possible. Also, another thing you notice, Sombra almost has EMP. This could be very big, depending on how fast he gets it.
A slam
could
as
win.
well. Coming in. Big slam.
Pretty decent slam, getting the Hammond, but they weren't able to play off of it. Big EMP though, that's gonna get the last of them. Oh, big
the white one
Riptide,
gets a
getting
2K.
2. Might be able to stagger it out now. They just have to stall point as long as possible until they can really stabilize here.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like they can touch. Ryan getting the touch, but he's hacked, so he's just gonna die instantly. Hammond getting the touch. No hack for the Hammond though, so you can solve for quite a bit. Waiting for the rest of the team to come back, and he's hacked now. Grab also coming through to try stall him out. That's a big bomb.
This is
That
big!
is a big bomb.
ULNKRAT.
Pulse
Great
bomb coming
combo.
through, getting it 0-1, and they capture the point on overtime.
Yeah. This is
Struggled quite a bit at the start, but then kind of started steamrolling, so that was quite good.
yeah, and the fill-in for
Arctic.
from TJP working really well.
Working quite well.
Yeah, he got his ult fast. He got a big bomb, and continued the rest of the fights to be really strong and getting a lot of value out of his play. So well done.
And you can see one main problem when they got to the last point is that
Hello.
once the fair was obsolete, they struggled. Instantly, they struggled after the fair was obsolete, which is quite bad, honestly. If you're too much dependence on one character, honestly.
Yeah, point 3 is very different from the other 2 points in the map.
Quite enclosed.
A lot tighter and enclosed in. You could really see that
Yeah.
the comp from Arctic adapted really well to that situation, whereas Aspire kind of struggled.
Yeah.
And what I see a lot in this match from Arctic,
Yeah, they're just kind of playing as a team more, honestly. With their ults, they're using them a lot better than they have been during the game. I feel like Aspire's having a bit of a slump with the ults. They used 3 ults in that fight when they could have just won it with the Orisa Bongo. I feel like the Moira and the Genji were just kind of trying to get that play. Pharah coming through for the for Aspire. This could be very big. They don't have any counters for the Pharah except for Torb, Turret, and Baptiste, which is kind of bad. But the rest of Aspire's team is just kind of struggling to push through. Getting the pick onto the Torb, that's a very big pick. Have to make sure that the Mercy doesn't get the res. They pushed away before they could stop the Mercy res. Pharah getting the spam in. Might get that Orisa, honestly. Orisa 1 health, forced to use the Immortality. The rest of Aspire's team is getting to push through here. Spam coming in through from the Pharah, that's going to be very troublesome. Nice, getting the pick onto the Pharah. Hook used to try to get the Mercy, not able to get the Mercy. That means that it's an easy res. Pharah coming back. They get the Baptiste pick, and I don't feel like they have res for it. That is 2 picks coming in for the D.Va. Very big picks. Barrage getting used, gets 2 more. And now all they need is that Hog. That's the only roadblock they have. And capturing it with 3 minutes to spare. Oh, Orisa causing a bit of a trouble there. And that was quite a fast pick there. You see, I said this. The Pharah is such a dominant pick onto this map. You have to have that Pharah. You're gonna struggle so much without it. Just putting so much spam damage, putting so much superiority. There's just not much of a chance if you don't have something to hard counter the Pharah or a Pharah to counter it. Torb might get picked off, gets the heals from the Mercy. The Pharah's kind of by herself right now, which is kind of bad. You really need that Mercy. If you had that damage boost, you would have gotten the pick on the Torb. Torb uses his ability to try get the Pharah. Pharah's just going to push up onto that Torb. Might get the pick with the Genji. Yeah, and they're going to get this Torb here. Really bad play from Torb. Oh, wait. They're not pushing up for him. Oh, nice. He got away. Getting a lot of ground with this payload. Oh, nice. Orisa hook combo gets fails because of the barrier. That's quite big. Oh, and Genji gets picked off. But they got the Torb in response. They're gonna have to stop that res. Oh, they don't stop it. The Torb comes back. They might use Pharah ult soon here because they have it in a second. Torb ult comes through. So does Strand. A lot of ults coming through. D.Va getting picked out. And it seems like Arctic is stabilized. They've kept this here. Blade coming in. Gets hooked instantly! Big hook coming in from BLB. And Pharah tries getting the boop. Almost gets 3. Immortality coming out to keep everyone alive. And Aspire is kind of just staggering themselves here. They should really regroup. Getting a bit more ground with that payload, but they're not. Oh! Huge boop coming in. No. 2 picks coming in, and the D.Va bomb getting no one, but still, they've got that 2 picks. Mercy going for the res, not getting picked off quite yet. Oh my god, they let the Mercy survive. Mercy 1 health, they have to pick off that Mercy. Almost gets the boop onto the Orisa. No Rhine, where is the Rhine actually? Gets picked off by the McCree, where was that Rhine?
Yeah, during that that res,
Pharah's gonna go for a barrage.
It seemed like there were some troubles in the back line. The whole team peeled back.
Yeah,
making it available for Mercy to res the Baptiste.
Sorry, Black Watch sat.
The Pharah's looking for a barrage right now. Might get a very big one depending on where he uses it. Mercy going with the Pharah. Might get picked off because of how aggressive he's been. Gets flashbang, gets picked off instantly. Immortality being used to keep everyone alive. But the Orisa going down. A bit of an even fight. Looking for the barrage still. Gets the pick onto the Torb again. Torb still gets the Widow though during the fight. Decent sized shatter. Goes for the barrage with the shatter. Might get the Orisa as well. That's 2 picks. Both tanks down. Only supports left. Oh no, the McCree's in the backline. They have to protect the Zen. Protect your Zen. Oh, Trans coming in but not able to save the D.Va mech. And this is just a lost fight. They invested Trans. Oh, get the McCree. Maybe not.
They got
both tanks are quite far off though. D.Va's still not a mech. Needs to get that mech. Nice. D.Va's gonna get shredded here. He's not even getting heals right now. Not enough focus fire coming in from Arctic. They could have taken out that D.Va quite easily. Torb going onto the high ground, looking for a Molten Core, I think. So is the McCree. McCree trying to get the pick onto the Widow. Fair going for the McCree here. Molten Core coming out, trying to get it onto the Rhine. And they're just using all the ults to try to kill the Rhine. Huge eat coming in from the D.Va, saving in the Reinhardt's live. It's just kind of a stalemate fight here. They are using ults, but they're not getting value with them. Both teams kind of struggling here to get picks on the other team. Orisa pushing forward, might get picked here. Nope. Flashbang coming through, trying to get the huge pick coming in. Big shatter. That might be a big bomb. Gets one. 3 picks coming in from Aspire.
Yeah, this
They
should
might
be
get that
enough to
Mercy as
seal
well.
the fight.
Yeah. Now, the important thing here is, will Aspire get the next point with time? So, if they get over a minute, then they have almost like the biggest odds of winning here. But they may have to make sure that they get it with time. They have to not
So
get
way
staggered,
back
they
in the
have to not
mind.
lose a fight. If not, they don't get time and both teams have the equal chance of winning. Spire coming into this fight without with an ult disadvantage here. Bongo's coming through early on in the fight. They get the turret out. Spire kind of backing up, waiting for Bongos to die. Fair call, honestly. Ryan gets hooked, might get picked off. That's a very big kill onto the McCree using Deadeye, and Varus fires back with her ult. Mercy's gonna go for the res, it seems. Just very weird positioning. Oh, Zentrance coming out, using Baptiste using ult, even though it's a lost fight.
Side to side.
Gets the McCree. They're just getting a bunch of staggers now. Now it's whether Arctic can stall out the point to 1 minute or not. This is going to be a bit of a struggle here. This is a struggle of a fight. They're just going as hard stall as they can. Going in for the Diva Bomb. That might be very big. That's huge! And they get it with over a minute! 1 minute and 17 seconds. That is very big right there. Now, no matter what, Arctic can't win. They have to draw this now.
Yeah. That's correct.
Oh, 1 point. Oh, gosh darn it, I missed it by a second.
That's huge.
My mistake. That was just. I feel like Arctic isn't using their ults. It's kind of going all over the place. Their communication was decent on the previous map, where they were using their ults quite well, and now they're just kind of gone back to slumping with their ults. They're using them all over the place. They're using them too early, and they're not getting enough value. Like the McCree pushed up too much, didn't have the barrier, so he didn't get any value with his ult, and he just died instantly, causing the fight loss and pretty much the point capture.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a slip up in communication, because they might they could have
Probably
hold
looking for a barrier.
that for a little bit, but instead the rest of the team goes for a disengage when the
Oh my god, mute him as well.
when the
Let's see what everyone,
when
just transfer.
TJP wanted to go aggressive, the rest started backing out and making him a very vulnerable target, and yeah.
Surprise, surprise, the Ferris coming out again. Has no mercy with him though. This is very interesting. He's not playing with a mercy this time. Oh, I'm lagging here. I can't really tell what's happening. Okay, there we go. The Ferris not going to be able to go as aggressive as he would want to go, just because of the... Oh! Hammond getting picked off instantly. Ryan going in, just feeding his brains out. Oh, Hook coming through the fair. That was a very good hook. Oh, getting the pick onto the hog. That's a good stagger. They're all going to be back before that hog. Will the Mercy go for the res? Yeah, Mercy's going to go. Oh, no, not going for the res. They're all going to be there before the hog, so they have to push in now. This is their biggest chance possible to win this. They also have ult advantage. They just have to push in here. Ryan's barrier already down. That's quite fast, honestly. Pushing through the left side. Hammond pushing through, might get picked off again. Genji almost has this blade. They almost have so many ults. They have to not let that go through. Oh, Genji has to get picked here. Nice, he gets the McCree. That's one pick. Gets the turret, but gets picked off by the Torb. It's even fight right now.
A very even
Hammond
fight.
is going through. They're going for the res. Don't let them res. Oh man. Oh, Hog getting picked off though. Still an even fight. Bear getting so much value. Hammond gets a triple, and that's it. That's a 4-0 for Aspire. Big plays from Aspire. Just a lot better with the 2-2-2, honestly.
Yeah, congratulations, on Aspire for winning
To Aspire.
that game.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna talk to the captains on a bit, I'm guessing. Yeah, this is very big. Just kept booping them into that. I know that. They just rolled into them there, what the hell? Dude, that was a 4K, what the hell? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, those mines stay a bit longer than you would like
Yeah.
when you're on the enemy
Getting really
team.
good value with them though.
Yeah, really did.
Leaving Nick, I think, messed them up quite a bit because they had that high noon and they could have won the next fight easily with it. I think that messed them up a bit, but they kind of stabilized. Really filled in those gaps and did quite well.
Yep.
I'll invite the white one for you guys.
You
Oh wait,
did
no I
this to
can't.
me.
Already in a group. A very close game. I just feel like Spire had way better. What's it called? Way better 2-2-2.
Is there a match after this one?
There we go. Hello. Oh wait, not here yet. I love when that happens. Hello. What time is it actually? 9:30.
I got skipped.
Alright.
No. Skipped.
Hello?
Moshi join.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Great.
How you doing?
I'm good. Good.
Yeah.
LLL.
Do you wanna go with the first questions?
Sure. I'll take questions. I'll take
Ruben?
questions first.
Ruben? Do you want to go
yeah,
first question or me?
No, I'll start. First of all, Aspire, congratulations on the win.
Congrats.
Yeah, unlucky.
Let's see.
Happened.
Questions.
guess so, yeah.
What was the idea for the team comp on the third point of Eichenwald on the attack? What was kind of the strategy there?
The third point of Eichenwald?
Yeah.
Which, are you talking about the second, or the first part, or the second part?
The Rhine.
The part where you were attacking.
The Rhine with the ball and the Fair Mercy and all that.
Oh, we just needed to get to the point quick, so the ball is gonna go contest first, since you can get there the fastest. I was just
Who
trying to
won?
help the Reinhardt, because our Rhine player normally doesn't play Rhine, so we were trying to
Aspire.
get him to
Aspire.
the point.
4-0.
Okay, I'll go with the next question. Just a question for Arctic's captain. You were running Fair Mercy every map, weren't you? So, why weren't you running Fair Mercy on Eichenwald?
We
Aspire.
wanted to experiment with some stuff we've been trying to get to work for a while. We put trust in our team. It didn't work, but it was fine. We decided to play Ghost. We decided to play Ghost on the second point because it's something we needed really to work on, and I think today's game on Eichenwald did help quite a bit with it.
Okay. And
What
just
is
another
their team
question.
rating?
Volskaya, Hamster, what happened when he fell off twice?
I
Was
guess.
that just slag?
Yeah, it's lag. We'll say lag.
Jesus, that's really unlucky.
Tell Smurf to join.
Everyone fails sometimes.
And
He
Ruben.
usually does pull that move off usually.
Yeah, I guess so.
We want comp.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to go with the next question, Ruben?
7.
If you have a
Ruben?
question, you can go first. That's fine.
Oh, dude, I had so many questions and I've just forgotten them all. I've gone blank. Why'd you keep running triple DPS? It guys were really struggling against the 2-2-2, especially the Ursa Hog. Just why'd you keep running the triple DPS for Arctic?
The number of the roles our players have are
Yeah.
very strange. We have a lack of healers with it. So we just
PogChamp.
kind of we ran
Oh.
the comp that we felt
Why
worked
is
best
there a
for us.
bot?
Like last time, for example, like last game, we felt that other comps didn't feel right to play. We just we played Triple DGS because it let most of our players just shine in their own way. They all
7.
played the characters they
7.
felt were best.
You. 7.
I trust in my team.
This
Yeah.
is a big
so-
brew
Okay,
moment.
so everyone was just playing their mains.
7. 7.
Yeah.
Smurf is a boy.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, I don't know.
7.
Do you have any questions, Ruben?
7.
I'm kind of just blanked out, to
7.
be honest.
7. 7. 7.
Yeah, so have I a little bit.
7.
Let's see.
7.
For Arctic, what would you guys
I
say
know, stop.
is your biggest improving point? What can you improve the most in your team currently?
It's communication.
Right,
Comms Vig
fair enough.
get very loud and almost.
7.
It's very strange. They get loud. They get a bit incoherent sometimes. That is definitely a point we can improve on.
A bit overwhelming.
Willie.
Some
Perhaps.
calls
And
just
also,
get
did you have someone that was tracking alts?
Yes. But
Because
like I said,
you guys were kind of like lackluster.
in all of the mayhem, people just forget. Like we all called the ults correctly every
7.
single time.
7.
But in all the mayhem,
7.
everyone almost
7.
forgot that they
7.
knew.
7. Black watch
Yeah,
how
it's just
long
because
is
you guys
left.
like most of the time had the alt advantage, and you guys just don't press it. You would kind of let them farm their alts and then push in when they had their alts.
Yeah, it's a very...
For Spire, what do you guys think that you could improve on?
Communication. And knowing
This
which
is
comp to
just
use
the
in certain
post-interview.
situations.
Okay, fair enough. And what did you
7.
guys think were the MVPs on each
PP.
team? We'll ask Aspire
However
first.
long they want it. But how long?
Who was your Fair player and your Widow player? Raging.
Oh, so that would be me and Nico.
So probably Nico with the Widow, right?
510 min
Yeah.
at most.
On the
You're really
first
good.
He was very good.
maps.
Yeah, he did really good.
Yeah, he was doing extremely well. Same goes
Tell
for
them
you,
we
Arctic.
want to
Who do you think
come.
was the dominant player on the other team?
That's it. It was your Farah and your
We
monkey
are waiting.
on Oasis.
7 inches.
The monkey was very well
Yeah,
played.
fair enough.
I'm trying to think. I don't even know who that is. I think it's probably Data.
Did they have a fair on
gaming.
Oasis?
No, they had it on Eichenwald.
Oh, okay. Because you said
They had
Oasis,
the
I was just
they had
confused.
the monkey on
Yeah, okay.
Oasis.
Well, GG's to both. Good job, Aspire.
7 inches.
And unlucky, Arctic, honestly. It was kind of a close game, to be honest. Just a few improvements to be made on both teams.
Yeah.
GG's.
GG.
It's a good game.
Good game.